billion Ugandan shillings 40 billion Ugandan shillings loss due to increased tax fraud arising from Electronic Fiscal Receipting and Invoicing System, Efris. And this is the Efris manipulation. Denis Kateeba, who is the Commissioner Tax Investigation Department, says that the tax body is likely to lose more if such acts continue. Take a look. All right. Now, with the Efris being into the country since 2019 and taking effect 2021 rather, and clearly it has actually faced some shortfalls in the long run, with some traders believing to say it is actually making cost of doing business more expensive than it was usually, and then currently it becomes even more difficult and more tough for the people to do with business. But then you are brought about the Efris saying it's far better for Ugandans to do business. But currently now, as we speak, Uganda Revenue Authority has revealed that it loses 40 billion shillings from Efris manipulation. Let's have a look at this report.
Electronic Receipting and Invoicing System Efris is an automated compliance system introduced by the Uganda Revenue Authority as part of its domestic revenue mobilization strategy, which is intended to manage the issuance and centralized tracking of all invoices and receipts by specified taxpayers in the country. Like any other system, Efris has got some challenges. According to Denis Kateeba, the Commissioner Tax Investigation Department at Uganda Revenue Authority, the system has been manipulated by fraudsters, translating to a loss of up to 40 billion Uganda shillings.
It's not until we come to the end of it that we can establish the loss. But so far, the scheme we handled, we are still reconciling. But we have so far established a loss of 40 billion in a period of on Efris, the current scheme we are handling and the investigations which are going on. But we are still reconciling and could go higher.
Kateeba revealed that they have caused the arrest of a one James Sekamwa, who has caused a loss of 12 billion alone from his fraud activities, and another one called Wenje Mike, who is still in court.
Called Sekamwa was gotten with the forged invoices, and he was taken to court, where he admitted he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. From the documents which were recovered, we have carried out a reconciliation and so far established 12 billion lost through his activities, fraudulent activities. Another one called Wenje is still in court, but so far from investigations, we have so far established 9 billion and they have been assessed and paid.
We recommend to the system developers to tighten that gap. And then another thing is sensitizing the public, so that the Ugandan knows that I have paid my part. So this supermarket or whatever business it is, they must remit what belongs to the government. So, and that's why such media coverage is important, to sensitize the public and so that people know their obligation and challenge or charge those people whom they've already passed on the money to pass it on to the government. So a lot of sensitization, tax education, and then system enhancement is going on.
Sekamwa James, a proprietor of JSK Consultancy, masquerades as an accountant and has been convicted and sentenced to 3 years in prison on charges of abating value-added tax. He was also ordered to pay 21 million to Uganda Revenue Authority. The magistrate, His Worship Moses Nabenda, gave the sentence when Sekamwa appeared before the Anti-Corruption Court and pleaded guilty to 8 accounts of making false statements to a tax officer contrary to Section 58 of the Tax Procedures Act 2014 as amended. He committed the offences between 2014 and 2019 while acting as tax consultant for various companies. Reports indicate that Wenje Michael registered 4 companies, namely Eco Suppliers Uganda Limited, Tendam Investment Uganda Limited, Musime Procurement Co Limited, and Wayembo Enterprise Limited, which he allegedly used to falsely claim input VAT from January 2017 to March 2022. He is said to have committed the offences in 2017, 2018 and 2019. Edson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV, Business Today. Electronic recepting and invoicing system Efris is
That is it from details to do with the Uganda Revenue Authority saying it loses 40 billion shillings from Efris manipulation from people who do not want to actually follow the Efris guidelines. Well, I think it's one of those key challenges that the Uganda Revenue Authority is actually facing in regards to people who actually manipulate taxation and people who evade taxes. And it's one of those issues that has actually led to most people to actually, that is one of the reasons why URA came out to reveal that it is yet to also hit the target of its taxation. You would try to understand, you would as well try to see. And clearly when you look at situations here, as we are following up more and more, is that the Uganda Revenue Authority did bring on board the Efris as an opportunity or as a chance for the traders to as well pay these taxes both directly and indirectly. And Efris also helps in at least in tax mobilization for URA, and it's one of those key parts of URA's, some of those key initiatives from the Uganda Revenue Authority that it's actually using to at least regulate taxation and mobilize for more taxes from most of the traders. And now it's time for us to get into the press review to see what is happening from that particular part of view. Well, and as of detail